It remains one of college basketball's most long-standing and heated rivalries, bolstered by legendary figures that still evoke deep emotions throughout the state. Tonight, Indiana and Purdue meet for the 199th time at a sold-out and pumped-up Mackey Arena. A great rivalry, a tremendous venue, and what promises to be a really fun night. It's Big Ten Network Basketball Super Wednesday, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. Purdue hosting number 3, Indiana. As we welcome you inside Mackey Arena, Dave Repson, 2-time Conference Player of the Year, Jimmy Jackson. And look, it's always fun when these two get together because of the nature of the rivalry, but an important game for both of these teams as well.
But think about it, Dave. Not too long ago, Purdue held the upper hand in regards to winning this series, but now the tables have turned. Purdue is playing extremely well. They want to continue with that, but also, if you look at it from Indiana's perspective, they want to stay in line with Michigan, a team they have to meet up on Saturday. They can't look past this game, and both teams know how important it is to them.
Yeah, a little bit of a sandwich game for the Hoosiers. They had the big game against Michigan State last weekend. They have the huge one coming up against Michigan this weekend. Will they be focused for this one? That's certainly a question. What are the key matchups you're looking at?
Dave, let's start with the backcourt. Victor Oladipo and also Tyrone Johnson. This is a very intriguing matchup. Victor, one of the top defensive players in the league. Tyrone Johnson can score with the best of them. Maybe not shooting the best percentage from the field, but when he gets it going, it's tough. So Victor, an all-around player. Watch this matchup intriguingly because whichever one can win this, I think, has the advantage. And when we go to the post play, Cody Zeller, of course, we know his exploits, loves to run the floor, can score inside. A.J. Habits has to stay disciplined offensively and defensively, can't pick up those cheap fouls, but also make Cody work on the defensive end of the court.
It is loud in here, and it promises only to get louder. The intensity ratcheted up. Starting lineups, opening tip coming up. BTN Basketball is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, your destination for Big Ten Network games. Also in part by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And by Sure Start Herbicide, giving you flexibility to spray corn from pre-plant to post-emergence.
Let's go, baby. I know what time it is.
It's Big Ten. It's time to turn it up.
The nation's best basketball conference.
Go get it, young fella.
On the premier college sports network.
How about that?
That's what I want to see him do.
A red-hot title race.
Welcome to the Big Ten.
Impact players.
This guy's just amazing basketball player.
Spectacular moments. And an award-winning show that takes you behind it all.
When you hear someone like that say something about you like that, it just makes you want to work even harder.
Find a way, knock these down. Let's give them a show, all right? Let's go.
The ultimate destination for Big Ten hoops is BTN.
We know you love Big Ten sports so much.
Who ordered the tall?
That you want to take them with you.
Excuse me? Really?
Now you can. With BTN To Go, it's the Big Ten network on your phone, tablet, or computer. BTN To Go. Take it with you.
Back in West Lafayette, where the Boilers have won 4 of their last 5 against top 10 teams. So we check out our Buffalo Wild Wings starting 5s. First for the visiting Hoosiers, Jimmy talked about Oladipo and Zeller. Holes, Farrell, and Watford round out the starting 5. Watford, the leading active scorer in the Big Ten. In addition to Tyrone Johnson and A.J. Hammonds for Purdue, keep an eye on DJ Bird. Nearly 3 made threes per game in Big Ten play. That leads the conference. Tom Crean has done a marvelous rebuilding job at IU. 2 years ago, this was a 12-win team. They're now number 3 nationally. They have, of course, been number 1 nationally earlier this year. And Matt Painter has led Purdue to at least 1 win in 6 straight NCAA tourneys. One of just 3 schools nationally that can make that claim. So we are ready to go here at Mackey Arena. A long and storied series. Purdue has the all-time advantage by a fairly significant margin as we inch towards the 200th all-time meeting. It's Hammonds and Zeller to tip it up. We are ready to go, Jimmy.
Awesome excitement. The energy is here. Important how Purdue starts the game. Shot selection offensively can be their best weapon.
Loud does not begin to do it justice in here. It is borderline deafening. Here's Hammonds now, backing in on Zeller, and the freshman can't get it to go. Watford the rebound, and here comes the Big Ten Player of the Week, Victor Oladipo.
I like the fact that Purdue went down to A.J. Hammonds early. He may have missed the jump hook, but he got into a position where he felt comfortable taking the shot.
Now Zeller travels. And Indiana showing some pressure, Jimmy.
And this is something that Purdue has to handle, the backcourt pressure. It's funny how dynamics have changed. A few years ago when you had Eachwan, Moore, and those guys, how they were the team, and Indiana had to prove something. Now it's the complete opposite right here, where Purdue now has something to prove against one of the best teams in the country.
Hoosiers have won 2 straight in this series after IU had lost the previous 5. Ball knocked out of bounds, 11 on the shot clock, and Purdue will inbound. Purdue been so good here under Matt Painter, 108 and 19 at home. This is a tough place to come in and win a game, but IU did that last year. 7 seconds to shoot. Tyrone Johnson now with 5. Working on Oladipo, a great defender. Johnson hangs in the air and hits.
And that's something Tyrone Johnson can do. When he's under control and has patience, he shoots the ball at a higher percentage because he can create his own shots, and he's an excellent finisher around the basket.
Here's Yogi Ferrell. The freshman from IU's play has really improved here over the last couple weeks. Zeller has it knocked away. It will stay with the Hoosiers.
Excellent defense right here by A.J. Hammonds. You usually tell your big men don't slap down, but in that situation, A.J. got away with a nice little defensive play.
Hammonds leading the Big Ten in blocks in conference play. Zeller gets it to go and draws the foul.
Immediately, Indiana recognized it. Out of bounds play, deep position inside. Cody did his work early, used his shoulder. Watch, Seals right inside the lane. The ball is on time, on target. Right shoulder inside and 1.
So the foul on the freshman Hammonds as Zeller goes to the free throw line. Has been struggling a little bit last couple games. Just 2 field goals combined over the last 2 outings, but he gets 3 early points here.
But you don't worry about that with Cody. You know, because he's not that type of player that's a volume shooter. He made big plays down the stretch of the game when they needed him the most. That's what he's there for.
Now Hammonds answers with 2 of his own. As Zeller had the great drive to the hoop against Michigan State. A big, big basket. They're going inside to him early and often as he misses that one. Watford the rebound knocked away and a foul on the Boilers.
Inside position, we talked about it. A.J. Hammonds is 7-footer, but you have to do your work early. When A.J.'s able to dart inside the lane and get to his position now, he's able to hold off a stronger Cody Zeller physically inside, but because he had inside position, now he was able to turn and finish.
Ball was on DJ Bird. Christian Watford, an outstanding free throw shooter. You see second in the Big Ten, and of course, he misses that one.
Dave, you made an interesting point about Cody Zeller making the big play in regards to the drive, but also defensively, he took a critical charge at the right time, at the right moment when they needed it. So it wasn't so much what he didn't do offensively. When it counted, offensively and defensively, he was there at the end of the game.
Now they have so many weapons. And this is a team of 5 players averaging in double figures as Ronnie Johnson, the freshman, penetrates and Purdue turns it over.
And that's one thing you can't do against this IU team is when you turn the ball over, you're allowing now Indiana to have more possessions. And when they have more possessions, they're more efficient and they're tougher to stop, even though they're playing on the road, Dan.
Well, the big thing that Matt Painter was emphasizing to me today is that, we cannot contribute to our own demise. Purdue cannot beat Purdue. We need to make Indiana beat Purdue. As Oladipo misses the jumper, Zeller, the offensive rebound, knocked away. Looks like it went off Zeller. And it'll be Purdue ball.
And to second that point, your offense can be your best defense. What kind of shots are you taking? Are you allowing Indiana to get out in transition because you're forcing long jump shots, and now that plays into their advantage?
They get it across with about a second to spare. The freshman Rayfeld Davis, who has moved into the starting lineup, done a really nice job for Matt Painter. He's very pleased with how he's playing.
He came in and focused on playing defense. I think it was against Ohio State.
Nearly loses it there. Ronnie Johnson with 6 to shoot. A carbon copy of the one his older brother hit a moment ago.
Another very interesting matchup. Yogi Ferrell, Ronnie Johnson played against each other in high school.
Watford for 3. That's 4 for Christian Watford.
I tell you, when he's knocking down that jump shot, it just opens it up in the middle, not only for Cody Zeller, but for his teammates to drive the lane.
DJ Bird, outstanding shooter. A long 2, Watford with the rebound. And Farrell comes out of there with it for the Hoosiers. Here's Oladipo on the run. Hole spotting up. Not there. Rebound batted out by Zeller, and Oladipo tracks it down. Zeller. And it's going to be the second foul on Hammonds. That a foul he could ill afford to commit, Jimmy.
Can't allow those little cheap fouls right there inside. A.J. Hammond has to stay a little bit more disciplined. A tough call, but he had to play through it.
We didn't always watch football at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Wheatgrass for our neighbors.
And moosh moosh.
Sport.
Protect the football. Buffalo Wild Wings. Football the way it should be.
Use Chase Freedom at drugstores this quarter. Get 5% cash back.
Oh, everybody get.
Activate your 5% cash back at chase.com/freedom.
Sunday on BTN. It's a super doubleheader of Big Ten hoops. First, a key W is at stake when Aaron White and the Hawkeyes head to the barn for a clash with Rodney Williams and the Gophers. Then, Jared Berggren leads the Badgers to Champaign to square off with Brandon Paul and the Illini.
How about that?
Big Ten basketball presented by 5 Hour Energy. Sunday only on BTN.
The nation's elite take the ice for hockey on BTN. Watch them blast the slap shots, bring the big hits, and light the lamp with sensational goals. Don't miss hockey, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, Friday on BTN.
The Buffalo Wild Wings trip to the Big Ten Tournament Sweepstakes. One grand prize winner receives a trip for two to the entire Big Ten basketball tournament, complete with air and hotel accommodations. Enter right now at btn.com/BWW tournament.
Back in West Lafayette, we remind you to get involved in the Twitter conversation around tonight's game. Go to btn.com/connect. You can find our hashtags periodically at the right-hand side of the score strip. You see it is hashtag Hoosiers and hashtag Purdue. Not a great turn of events just before the timeout there, Jimmy. A.J. Hammond's picking up a quick second foul, and so he has to take a seat on the bench.
Well, let's take a look at if he's in position right here as he's still walking into Cody Zeller. And the benefit of the doubt is going to go towards more of the aggressive player. As you watch in here, he's going to continue to move up the lane a little bit more. Even though he turns to the side, the contact was initiated. Excellent play by Cody Zeller. Tough foul to pick up if you're A.J. Hammond.
So Cody Zeller to the free throw line, hits the first one. Former Indiana Mr. Basketball, as were his brothers Luke and Tyler. All finished in the top three of their high school class academically as well. Three very impressive siblings, and 5 points already for Zeller. Again, the pressure from Indiana.
Well, Dave, that last play was a prime example. Contested shot by DJ Bird. Indiana able to get a quick shot in transition, get the rebound, then attack again. That plays right to their strength.
Whistle and a foul on Purdue. It's on DJ Bird, and that's number 2 on DJ Bird. So fouls very quickly becoming an issue for two very important calls for Matt Painter.
Well, a lot of this here is not DJ's fault. That's Jerome moving too quickly before DJ was in position to set a pick.
Donnie Hale coming in. He's number 15. So Bird and Hammonds both on the bench. Watford missing the three. Tyrone Johnson the rebound.
And that hurts you with DJ Bird going to the bench because he was your primary three-pointer outside shooter.
Travis Carroll, 50, came into the game for Hammonds. Here is Carroll. Has struggled a bit with his confidence, but that will help.
They look very confident and comfortable right there, and it's amazing, too.
Now a scrum and a hell ball. It'll be Indiana ball, but again, setting the tone defensively there for the Boilers.
Well, that's where this Purdue team is going to have to make its mark, especially with your two primary players with Hammonds and also Bird on the bench. You have to get your knees dirty a little bit, jump on the ground, figure out different ways to score in transition, offensive rebounds, but importantly, rebound the ball and stop Indiana in their half-court sets.
Again, this is a Purdue team that really hangs its hat on defense as it has throughout the years. Only 6 of their 20 opponents have shot better than 35% from three. And IU, of course, one of the better shooting teams, one of the most efficient offensive teams in the nation. Watford gets to the hoop after the contact and no call.
Tyrone Johnson with a little acting job right there. Didn't fool the referees, which was a correct call.
Anthony Johnson, number 1 in there for Purdue. Guarded by Oladipo. This is Tyrone Johnson. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Hale had it momentarily, but Farrell comes out of there with it. IU's got numbers if they hurry. Zeller. Offensive foul on Farrell.
They very intelligent play. Ronnie Johnson understood that they had the mismatch or had the advantage, Indiana in transition. So what do? You give up your body. You hope that you're in a position to take the charge. Now it negates any kind of basket that Indiana was able to get.
Big call there going in the Boilers' favor. The first foul on Yogi Ferrell. Anthony Johnson trying to get to the hoop, and he does. First two for the sophomore out of Chicago.
I think one of the things you have to do if you're Purdue is kind of mimic that play. Attack Indiana off the dribble, force them to guard you.
Will Sheehy Not there. Jerome Johnson for the Boilers. They can take the lead with a hoop here. There's Hale on the blocks. Try to go up over Watford, who may have gotten a piece of it. Oladipo has the loose ball. Victor Oladipo in the open court, and he gets the roll on the lay-in.
And just that little hesitation, change of pace in the left hand. Victor Oladipo works on this kind of move every day. That's why it looks so natural. Outstanding finish in transition by Victor.
Just dominated that game over the weekend against Michigan State. 21 points, 7 rebounds, 6 steals. So Purdue answering quickly. Jimmy Bina. Up-tempo game here so far, and then a foul on the Hoosiers.
Well, it's in the favor of Indiana. If you're Matt Pan, you still want to bring the tempo down a notch or two in order to get the kind of shots you want. But again, you want to limit the possession that you give to Indiana because they're so potent, they're so effective. The more chances they have a chance to see the rim, the worse it is for your defense.
DJ Bird back in there for Purdue, playing with the 2 fouls. And to Carroll. Now Ronnie Johnson doesn't go. Zeller clears the board. Sheehy pulls, great outside shooter, and he hits it. First 3 points of the game for Jordy Holes, who was second in the nation in three-point percentage last year and is shooting 49% this season.
And Ronnie Johnson has to stay solid. By him lunging at that steal and missing, it just opened up the multiple passes and ended up with the three-point shot by Jordy Holes.
Rayfeld Davis has it knocked away. Nice defense by Jeremy Hollowell, who, when we talked to Tom Crean before the game, he really praised the way Hollowell's been coming along. 7 seconds to shoot. Bird. Got it. Here's Holmes. Has it blocked by Davis.
Dave, this game means a lot. DJ Bird may have 2 fouls, but he's making his presence felt. Knocks down to 3. Indiana 16-15 over Purdue.
Thanks for the ticket, man.
Thanks to my State Farm agent for saving me $480.
No sweat. Hey, look, we're on fan cam.
Y'all ready for this? Having the extra cash sure helps.
And I can save even more by combining your auto and renter's policies.
Cool. But what if we bought a house?
Auto and home? We have even bigger savings for that.
Wow, sounds good.
More savings any way you shake it.
Want to split some nachos?
Sure.
Get to a better state. State Farm. Saturday on BTN. Conference scoring leader Deshaun Thomas leads the Buckeyes into Lincoln to battle a Cornhusker squad hungry for an upset. Big Ten basketball presented by 5 Hour Energy. Saturday at 7 Eastern only on BTN. Watch All Access Video and purchase official IU souvenirs and apparel by visiting the Indiana University Athletics official online store at iuhoosiers.com. Part of the Big Ten Digital Network.
The greatest featherweight champion in the history of the sport. It's going to be very difficult to think of who can challenge you at this point.
I've heard this story before.
You can never count this kid out. One of the best of all time. Frankie Edgar. Featherweight champion, just say Aldo. Alistair Overeem. Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Unshot. Oh, good left hand by Nogueira.
You owe the IRS more than $10,000? Ameristar Tax Centers has a team of experienced enrolled agents and tax professionals that are licensed to represent you before the IRS.
I've been negotiating as an enrolled agent with the IRS for 29 years.
They can stop the collection activity, negotiate with the IRS for you, and get you maximum relief.
We'll take the weight off your shoulders so that you don't have to deal with the IRS anymore.
Call for your free tax relief information now.
Kind of interesting. I had a broadcasting partner by the name of Lanny Segal, and earlier that day he had said to me, I really feel something ballistic's going to happen with Coach Knight. And of course you kind of think, well, yeah, he's got a short fuse, but no, it's not going to happen like it did. And as soon as it happened, as soon as the chair went flying, you know, I just kind of looked at him and said, oh my goodness, man, I got to get to know you better because you can predict the future.
It wasn't exactly going out on a limb to say Bob Knight might go off a little bit. How about that? Preserved forever. There's Larry Clisby, 30th year calling games for Purdue. But that's as memorable a moment as we've ever had.
Can you imagine being the referee at the time at the free throw with the free throw shooter? Okay, what do you do after that? It's just like, here comes a chair hurling at you by Bobby Knight.
And that was Steve Reed, who was at the free throw line for Purdue. Comes from a great basketball family. Father, a fantastic high school coach for years in the Quad Cities, Duncan Reed. But yeah, that had to be a little disconcerting. And of course, Bob Knight got thrown out of the game, assessed 3 technical fouls, later suspended by the conference for a game.
Can you imagine if that happened now, how viral that would be on Twitter and Facebook and all across the internet if a coach did that now?
Jordan Hulse hitting the free throw should let you know there was a foul called. It was so loud in here, Jimmy. Didn't actually hear the whistle on that, but Donnie Hale got called for the foul. So Davis blocked the shot, but Hale was called for the foul. How about Travis Carroll? 4 points for him, kind of thrust into the spotlight a little bit. And that answering on the other end is Hollowell.
Good move by Jeremy Hollowell, getting himself active, but the last play by Purdue was all set up by the patience of Ronnie Johnson. That's something that he's been able to now learn as a starting point guard here at Purdue, patience.
Carroll misses that one. Battle for the board, and here comes she. Hoosiers on the run. Pulls for 3. Doesn't go. Great offensive rebound, Remy Abel. And he goes back up and in.
And that's when they're at their best. You take a long jump shot on your end. You don't have defensive balance. Coaches always talking about taking that shot in transition. Why? Because now you don't have proper blockout position. Offensive rebounds are available.
Remy Abel had a huge game in this building last year. Now a block by Hollowell. Ball on the floor. Matt Painter scoops it up. His team will retain possession. Abel 13 points in the win here for the Hoosiers last season, and you see him checking out as his most points ever in a conference game. Tyrone Johnson coming back in for Purdue as well. So number shot clock doesn't reset there, Jimmy. 15 to shoot for the Boilers.
A.J. Hammond's back in the game. Play smart, young fella. Don't pick up a cheap foul.
And now Sheehy comes up with his steal. And the jam. Indiana extends the lead to 7. A little bit of a danger zone here for Purdue.
You can't afford this Indiana team to get you on a 12-2 kind of run.
Held ball, it'll be Purdue ball, but nice defense by Yogi Ferrell. He is a fantastic defensive player.
Well, Coach Green talked to us both about Yogi getting better defensively, Jeremy Hollowell getting better. Once those guys get on the same page, how potent a defensive team this Indiana bunch can be.
That is an area where they have really improved this season. They are far better on the defensive end. Now Ronnie Johnson loses it on his way through the lane. It will stay with the Boilers. 10 seconds to shoot for Purdue.
Well, defense is all about really wanting to contain your man till you'll need help. And then collectively as a team to be in the right position just in case you do get beat. That's a personal kind of agenda that you have to be on as a player.
They are first in the Big Ten in field goal percentage defense, third in 3-point defense. team that was porous defensively early on in Tom Crean's tenure. That a bad shot there by Tyrone Johnson. Of course, part of that was personnel, but they have really bought in on the defensive end. Here's Farrell for three. That doesn't go. Offensive rebound for Sheehy. Now Oladipo in the corner. Got it. A 10-point lead for Indiana, and Purdue calls timeout as Victor Oladipo hits for the 14th time in his last 17 three-point attempts.
Well, it's a prime example, Dave, about a team that's explosive. You give them opportunity to get out and run. Second shots, now you find yourself down by 10 points. And if you're Purdue, okay, 6 points, you score 2, that's fine. But if they score 10 and you score 0, it's tough to make up that difference consistently as a team. Again, dribble penetration, you're able to get back into the lane off of an offensive rebound. Victor Oladipo, one of the better shooters in our league, has worked on his three-point shooting since last year. Very confident. You give him an open look like that, as you can see, he can knock it down.
Talking to Tom Crean about Victor Oladipo before the game, I mean, he was talking about the work ethic. He said some guys are 365-day-a-year guys. He's a 365-day-a-year guy times 2, and the quantum leap that he has taken is just, it's really nothing short of staggering. And even Tom Crean said, look, we knew how good he could be. We saw at practice this was a very talented kid. But he said, look, I am surprised that it's this good, that he's made this big a jump. And now Oladipo on the defensive end forces the turnover.
Well, first thing he did, Dave, was took ownership. Took ownership that he wanted to be a leader. And I said, when did you see the transformation take place? And Coach Crean said, last year here at Mackey Arena, when he took that next level, he took that jump, and since then he has become the leader of this Indiana team offensively and defensively.
There's Farrell. Oladipo hits it, but a foul called on the screen on the Hoosiers. It's going to go against Yogi Ferrell, and that'll be number 2 on the freshman. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was saying, how bad does Yogi want to stay in this game? He doesn't want to come out with 2 fouls.
He will take a seat. And just to finish up on Oladipo, Tom Crean was saying he's a guy who stays and always watches extra film, personnel film, and you were talking about the leadership. He said last night Victor was watching extra film, and he pulled a couple of guys aside, and he said, you know what, you're sitting here, you're going to watch film with me.
And it's not that they're watching film against Michigan. They're watching against Purdue, a game they need to have. That also tells you about how important this is and what kind of leader Victor is.
Again, Oladipo on the defensive end. Holds. That one doesn't go. Rebound tracked down by Tyrone Johnson. And a foul on the Hoosiers. It's going to go against Will Sheehy. That's the first on Sheehy.
Well, see, and again, that little reach-in foul, okay, right in front of the referee. Why? Because the possession is in the hands of Purdue. You're not going to influence it. Just get back on defense, and I'm sure that's something that Coach Crean will tell Will Sheehy.
This is a huge juncture here for the Boilers. I was talking to Matt Painter today. He said, you know what? When we get down 10, we're in trouble. We're not a good team when we're down 10. Some teams have that killer instinct, and they say, all right, now we're being challenged. So we're not really good at being down 10. And right now, Jimmy, they're down 10.
Well, they try to get the 10-point play instead of working their way back in. See, that shot is contested. That's a tough shot to take.
A Bird gets it back, goes back up with it, and he'll go to the free throw line. Indiana getting it done on the defensive end. Will Sheehy the steal and the jam. It's the Hoosiers up by double digits.
My bad.
Tell me you have good insurance.
Yep, I've got
Allstate.
Really? I was afraid you'd have some cut rate policy. No, I've got
the Allstate Value Plan. It's their most affordable car insurance, and you still get an Allstate agent.
I too have
Allstate.
Same agent and everything.
It's like we're connected.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
Ask an Allstate agent about the value plan. Are you in good hands?
At ITT Technical Institute, we want to help students pursue their dreams. We're introducing the ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship for eligible students who qualify to help make their college experience more affordable. Since 1969, ITT Technical Institutes have helped students develop skills and knowledge to help them pursue careers in promising fields. And now we're helping provide qualified students with financial assistance to pursue the education they want. Our schools of study include information technology, electronics technology, drafting and design, business, and criminal justice. At ITT Tech, we believe every student should have the opportunity to get an affordable education. ITT Technical Institute, education for the future. To find out more about the Opportunity Scholarship at ITT Tech, call 866-436-6050.
Before the ball goes on, expand your basketball knowledge as our experts discuss the matchups to watch, interview coaches and players, and set the scene for a spectacular night of hoops. The Auto Owners Insurance Tip-Off Show, Saturday on BTN. Tomorrow, our Hoops insiders survey the big stories in the conference, talk with the week's top newsmakers, and provide a complete preview of the weekend's games. The Big Ten Basketball Report, presented by BMW, tomorrow on BTN.
Indiana on top of Purdue 27-17. This was the scene before the game. The Purdue students lined up for hours on a miserable night. I mean, it's raining. The precipitation started bouncing at one point.
They don't care.
I never liked the bouncing precipitation. That's a problem. They could not have possibly cared less. They were absolutely ready to go. Hey, don't forget, it is tonight a special presentation of The Journey, Big Ten Basketball 2013. We go behind the scenes in the Big Ten. It's 11 Eastern time. An all-new episode comes your way this Saturday at 9 Eastern, presented by Chase Freedom.
Dave, the invincibility when you're 19, 20 years old. You know, I was going around campus today when we came in, saw shorts and hats. I'm just like, are you kidding me?
It was miserable outside.
But to them, it's nothing.
I know.
You know, it's funny. You know, real quick on this with Purdue, down 10 points. What Matt Painter tells his team, say, look, guys, one shot didn't get us down 10 points, and one shot is not going to get it back. You know, you execute on offense, you get to the free throw line, knock a couple shots down, play defense. That's how you slowly get yourself back in the game. It's just not going to happen quickly, and that's what he means when they get down by 10. It's just tough for them to get back in.
Bird hitting 1 of 2. Those are the first 2 free throws Purdue has shot. Hoosiers have shot 7 so far in the game. Here's Zeller. Gets it to go.
Oh, he's so good over that left shoulder. You can't allow him to get that deep position. A.J. Hammons has to do his work early and push Zeller further out on the court, so now your help is there. When he gets that deep, he's just tough to stop.
And of course, Hammons playing with 2 fouls, which kind of exacerbates the defensive issues. Hammons on the offensive end now has 4 points.
And A.J. is showing you he has a nice skill set. When he gets set down low, he gets deep position. He has a nice touch.
Here's Oladipo on top. That one doesn't go. Zeller, though, tracks down the offensive rebound.
The little things, Dave.
Holes with the long 3. 8 points for Jordan Holes.
This team is tough enough on one possession, but you give them multiple possessions to score. They're just tough. So many weapons.
Here's Bird through the lane. Now Rayfel Davis. That doesn't go. Zeller with the rebound as Indiana continues to dominate the glass. A 15-8 advantage for the Hoosiers. Jordan Holes another one. It doesn't go. Another offensive board for Zeller. Not there. Hammons clears for Purdue. Anthony Johnson left it well short. Ball on the floor. It'll be Purdue ball.
Dave, you can see the difference between the teams a couple things. When Indiana is able to penetrate and get deep position, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 shooters on the perimeter that you can knock it to, you can kick it out to and get shots. With Purdue, when they penetrate, the guys are trying to get closer inside because they're not as comfortable shooting a deep 3 other than Bird.
Not a great outside shooting team. 32-20 in favor of the Hoosiers. It's their largest lead of the game. There's Bird to Hammons. Burns outside shooting. That one way off the mark.
Well, that's a frustration shot. You know, DJ hasn't been able to get into his rhythm. He kind of predetermined that he was going to shoot that shot immediately when he came off the screen.
Remy Abel brings it into the front court. Now Holes. Here's Oladipo. Derek Elston into the game, and Elston strong with the hoop, and he will go to the strike.
And I was talking to Derek before the game. I said, "What's up, man? When you playing?" He said, "I'm back." And this is the kind of person, the guy, glue guy that you need. He's been through the wars, Dave. He gives you energy. He gives you effort. He's not going to complain. He's going to play defense, hard-nosed. And you need that kind of player when you're trying to make that run to win a Big Ten championship and then ultimately a national championship.
And he has been through it all. Part of the great revival of this Indiana team. But remember, 3 straight 20-loss seasons. They had never lost 20 even once in a season. Derek Elston, one of the guys who lived through that, and now he gets to be a part of something as special as this.
Well, his attitude has just been phenomenal. Even though going through the injuries, whenever we did a game or in that practice, he's still been upbeat because he understands, like you just talked about, where they've been and how far they've came. So his attitude has always been positive, and that's why it's good to see him back on the court.
Elston hitting both free throws. Just his 5th and 6th free throws of the season. And now Indiana's lead at 14 as they extend their largest lead of the game. Who do you go to if you're Purdue here?
Well, you have the ball in Tyrone Johnson's hand, but again, when you're not proficient from shooting outside, you're going to over-penetrate a little bit too much. Try to get closer to the basket and force the issue. Where you had some success is posting A.J. Hammonds up deep in the lane and allowing him to go one-on-one inside. He has the size advantage right now on Derek Elston. They should try to exploit that.
Oladipo takes his seat on the bench. Davis gets trapped in the corner. Tyrone Johnson, nice feed to Hammonds, and the foul.
The game is simple. You make the right choices in the right plays. You find the mismatches inside, then you try to exploit it. Defensively, you get back. I think this was an excellent out-of-bounds play. Well, they got the ball out of the corner, but you used your big fella in the right way down the lane.
A.J. Hammonds converting on the three-point play. What a freshman year he has had. I mean, he and Nerlens Noel of Kentucky, the only 2 power conference freshmen averaging at least 9.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks. That's some good company to be in. Noel was fantastic last night. That win at Ole Miss.
A.J. Hammonds is just scratching the surface, Dave.
Now here come the Boilers. And they turn it over. 6th turnover for Purdue. Elston doesn't go. Ronnie Johnson with a great play. Dishes for Hammonds. Here's Watford. And a foul on the Boilers. It's going to go against Hammonds, and that is his 3rd.
And the call here is that Hammonds came down with his hands. That's a tough call. It seemed like a really tough call. Hammonds was in position. But Christian Watford was smart. He initiated the contact. He put the onus on the referees to call the foul. But that's a tough way to get a 3rd foul if you're A.J. Hammonds.
No doubt. So now Hammonds will have to sit down. Christian Watford going to the free throw line for the Hoosiers. And 6 points in this game. Shooting the 1-and-1, he hits the first one. Watford, a native of Birmingham, Alabama. It's an honorable mention, all Big Ten pick last year. Of course, that great buzzer beater to beat Kentucky. It's both free throws. 34 in the game, Jacob Lawson for the Boilers. And now an unforced error for the freshman Ronnie Johnson.
The growing pains of having a young point guard to bring it down a notch, accept the pressure, don't try to run through it, run your offense to be comfortable. Again, you want to get shots at the basket. You don't want to just give it up and get multiple possessions to this Indiana team.
Here's Abel. Big time swat by Jacob Lawson. So some defensive prowess from the Boilermakers. The third block of the game for Purdue.
Okay, so while I'm on vacation, my house's power goes out. I get back home to find all the food in my fridge has spoiled. Will my insurance pay for it to be replaced? I don't think they would.
I think it should.
I think it should as well.
No.
I'm not 100% sure.
Don't just hope you're covered. Find your policy, then find us. Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
You like who you are, and you learn something along the way. This is the age of knowing what you're made of. So why let erectile dysfunction get in your way? Talk to your doctor about Viagra. 20 million men already have. Ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. This is the age of taking action. Viagra. Talk to your doctor. See if America's most prescribed ED treatment is right for you.
Use Chase Freedom at gas stations this quarter. Get 5% cash back. Well, everybody get.
Activate your 5% cash back at chase.com/freedom. Making the big romantic gesture. That's powerful. Verizon. Get a Nokia Lumia 822 in red for free.
Back at Mackey Arena, Indiana on top of Purdue, 36-25. The State Farm halftime report coming up just under 4 minutes from now. Rick Pizzo, Tim Doyle, and Mike Corsi standing by in our Chicago studios to get you updated on the night so far in the Big Ten. Number 1 Michigan, very impressive against Northwestern, so they improved to 7-1 as they head towards that showdown in Bloomington on Saturday against the Hoosiers, who are themselves trying to get to 7-1 in the conference.
And that's why this game is so important, because if you're Indiana, you want to ride into that Michigan game with momentum, playing well, having confidence. And you don't want to overlook a team like this, because if you lose a game in a closely knit league like we're having right now, this game could come back to haunt you.
Now, the one thing Tom Crean said that really works to his advantage is the fact that they have lost games to Purdue in recent memory. These guys know what it's like to lose to Purdue. They know what it's like to beat them. And he said that's going to help them take the opponent totally seriously. 2 to shoot here. Here's Abel as the shot clock was expiring. It's a good defensive possession for the Boilers. And Tom Crean talked about the rivalry, too. He said, look, we're playing it up. I mean, that this is a big rivalry. He said, we're not overdoing it, but we're not underdoing it either.
Oh, he understands how important it is to his players. It's in-state rivalry. You don't need a lot, because a lot of these players played against each other in high school, AAU, on the same teams or whatever. So it doesn't take much, but it does take a lot of concentration to come in here to Mackey Arena, and you're supposed to win and pull out the game.
There's Jacob Lawson with 5 to shoot. Doesn't get it to go. And a foul on the rebound on Purdue.
Purdue foul number 35, Rayfeld Davis, his first teammate.
It's going to be on the freshman Rayfeld Davis. That's the 8th foul on Purdue, so Indiana shooting 1 and 1.
And Dave, if you're Matt Painter, at halftime, you're going to talk to your team about a couple of things. One, our initial defensive stance is pretty good. You know, Indiana's only shooting 40%. But it's the second shot. You're giving up 9 offensive rebounds. So now you have 14 points off of that. Then you're sending Indiana to the free throw line. Okay, I think that's their 14th free throw. And then you look at a spread of 12 points and you say, well, guys, here's where it's at. Let's be a little bit more focused on our efforts on what we need to do.
Remy Abel hitting both free throws, 4 points for the Louisville native. Again, the pressure from IU. Jerome Johnson will pull it back out. 13-point lead for the Hoosiers on the road against their arch rivals with #1 Michigan looming. Shot clock at 8. Second straight possession. Purdue has really had to work for a shot. Not sure that's the one they wanted.
Well, they had a couple of opportunities off the pick and roll to pull up for a nice little jump shot.
There's Watford. 11 points for Christian Watford. And Purdue calls timeout as this one threatening to get away from them.
Well, here's the thing. Offensively for Purdue, you had some good looks, but because you're not confident in shooting from the perimeter, you try to inch it a little closer. Hence, on the opposite end of the court, when Indiana has a shot at the rim and they're open, they're going to take the shot because they're confident and they have those shooters on the perimeter that can knock down shots.
Watford certainly one of those guys. Very good outside shooter. And this is just an incredibly efficient offensive team from Indiana. The 3rd in the nation in offensive efficiency, points per possession. Shoot it great. 6th in the nation in field goal percentage at 50%. And you mentioned, Jimmy, they're well under that average, but they're getting so many more shots at it here today, adding to their possessions with the offensive rebounding. And there you see the offensive numbers just impressive across the board.
But the offensive numbers don't tell this. They're unselfish. That's why they're able to be so efficient. When you're unselfish as a team, now everybody feels they're a part of it. You begin to operate at a higher level and you get easy shots.
And that's kind of to the point about where people were saying, well, maybe Zeller's slumping. They haven't really needed Zeller. I mean, he's got so many other guys around him. But hey, when the opportunity arises, he obviously will take advantage of it because he's one of the best players in the country.
Well, when you're anointed, maybe a preseason player of the year, they want you to be a guy that's going to shoot, 20 times a game and average 25 points. Yeah. That's not his personality. That's not his DNA. He's a team-first player. And what he gets out of the offense, he's going to accept. But he's going to give you everything he has. Rebounding, offense, defense. That's what makes him special.
And he will go to the free throw line now after the turnover on Purdue, the foul on Tyrone Johnson. They get it down low to Zeller. He goes back to the stripe. And the passing's been great. I mean, to your point, Jimmy, they have 12 field goals, 9 assists.
It's one, executing the play, putting the ball on target and on time. The sum of the whole is better than just one person. That's what this Indiana team has been built around since Tom Crean has gotten here. And now that you have the players, you see how that's all unfolded and manifested itself.
So A.J. Hammond's on the bench with the 3 fouls. Zeller taking advantage, 9 points. An 18-point lead for Indiana. Ronnie Johnson. A scoop shot, but can't get it to fall. Went out of bounds off Zeller. And Purdue able to get it into Johnson, Tyrone Johnson. As Carroll comes out to set the screen. Johnson with the runner, hit one of those earlier. Travis Carroll called for the foul.
It's just some tough shots that Purdue is forced to take or allowing themselves to take. I think when you lose A.J. Hammond, I thought they did an excellent job early on sealing the big fella inside and getting him the ball. But He's not available right now. So it puts a lot of strain and stress on your offense to try to create some easy plays.
Zeller hitting the first free throw. Again, the State Farm halftime report. Rick, Tim, and Mike standing by. We'll break down first half of our game, show you how Michigan played against Northwestern. Zeller into double figures with 11. He and Watford leading the way for IU. Jordy Hulse has 8. The foul's on Watford. That is his second. Purdue really struggling on the offensive end, though, Jimmy.
It seems like they're almost squeezing the ball. They're so tense and trying to force the ball to get in the basket, to try to force themselves to get something going instead of the kind of fluidness we saw early in the game.
Travis Carroll, the junior from Danville, Indiana. That one rims out. Who's got to take advantage of every opportunity they have. Here's Holes in transition. Not there. Tracks down his own rebound. Great hustle by Jordan Holes. Ball ends up at about the third row.
Dave, I said on this play, you see the hustle right here, but just something little. Victor Oladipo in transition, under control. Inside-out move, got deep within the lane, under control, and made the right pass. That's part of his growth as a player. Look, now he's back into it to steal and out to run again.
He is something else. Oladipo can't get it to go. Tipped by Zeller, yes.
Unbelievable.
13 points for Cody Zeller, but Victor Oladipo starting it all on the defensive end.
You know, to young players at home that are watching, you say you want to have an effect on your team. You see Ronnie Johnson with a nice little runner. Watch Victor Oladipo.
Now Zeller quickly the other way. The basket will not count. Offensive foul there on Zeller.
The misnomer is that you affect your team offensive. That's what young players always look at. No, you can have a lasting effect on your team from the defensive end of the court. Victor Oladipo has taken ownership that he wants to be the best player, not just in the Big Ten, but across the country. And that's why he has so much of a lasting effect for this Indiana team.
Purdue will try to minimize the damage here. They'll wind down the shot clock. Oladipo with the block. Now a scramble. Bird in the corner. Tyrone Johnson cannot get it to go. What an impressive first half for Cody Zeller and Victor Oladipo and the Hoosiers. Zeller 13 points and 9 rebounds, 1 board shy of a double-double. IU dominating the scoreboard, up by 20 as we send it to Rick.
How about Cody Zeller? After 11 combined points in Indiana's last 2 games, 13 and 9 in the first half alone as the Hoosiers build a 20-point halftime lead. Welcome into the State Farm Halftime Report. Rick Pizzo, Mike DeCourcy, Tim Doyle with you. As good as Cody Zeller has looked offensively, Mike, defensively, Indiana putting the clamps on Purdue thanks to a guy who many think will be the conference defensive player of the year.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting competition because Aaron Kraft has not gone anywhere. He's still doing a great job. And maybe Saturday night we'll see a little bit of the similarity or difference between how Oladipo defends the great Trey Burke. To this first half, the 3 from the corner to get things started, take it to a double-digit lead. And he just really affected the game in so many ways. The steal, bouncing it off his leg. You know, I just think there are so many things in his game, in his arsenal, the swipe. And at the end of the half, what was really interesting down the last several minutes, the last 2-3 minutes, the game is completely out of hand in the first half, and he is continuing to play with incredible energy. Steals, drives, Cody Zeller follows, and then the great block at the end. Did not surrender 1 ounce of energy, even though his team was well in the clear.
Pre-game, Tim, you said the big matchup would be the men in the middle. It has clearly been dominated by Cody Zeller.
Well, A.J. Hammonds came into the game after 3 subpar efforts, and his biggest question mark was, can he stay with Cody Zeller and actually play pretty well offensively? But the key stat is got in foul trouble, and right there picks up his second foul. So Indiana was smart. They went inside to Zeller, and watch Hammonds on this possession. He can't really body up to Zeller. Cody gets close to the basket, is able to score, but when Hammonds has gotten the ball in some kind of offensive rhythm, he has been pretty good. Now, that's a 7'1" freshman, everybody. How good is he going to be in years past? And you guys talked about Victor Oladipo being Defensive Player of the Year. Forget that. I think he could be Conference Player of the Year if Indiana goes out and wins the conference. He seems to be everywhere on every single play. And for Purdue, they just cannot keep up offensively with the Hoosiers. This game is at the pace that Indiana wants to play at. Even though the crowd's great, Purdue has a tough time scoring the ball.
Yeah, Hoosiers sending a message after Michigan sent a message earlier tonight. We talked about the possibility of looking past Wednesday night opponents. It was the worst topic I could have potentially brought up on the pregame show because Indiana and Michigan proving it did not deserve to be discussed. Speaking of, the Wolverines show you how they took care of business against Northwestern. No issues for Trey Burke and company. That's next on the State Farm Halftime Report.
On May 6th, 1985, identical twins were separated at birth. Despite their different upbringings, they were both born to assist. Chris Paul was destined for a life of basketball. Cliff Paul was destined for a life of helping others, and that led him to become a State Farm agent. When assisting is in your blood, you know it. Find an agent born to get you to a better state.
Take to the mat for wrestling on BTN. The best grapplers in the country lock up to find out who will have a hand raised in victory. Big Ten Wrestling, presented by Cliff Keen Athletic, Friday night on BTN.
Women's basketball plays on BTN. The Big Ten's best put their fire and passion on display and leave it all on the floor during top matchups throughout the season. Big Ten Women's Basketball, tomorrow on BTN.
Is the IRS ruining your life?
I've had people call in, and the IRS is currently taking up to 90% of their paychecks. And it's gotten to the point where they can't put food on the table for their families, let alone commute back and forth to work.
Ameristar Tax Centers has a team of experienced enrolled agents and tax professionals that are licensed to represent you before the IRS. They can stop the collection activity, negotiate with the IRS for you, and get you maximum relief.
We have some of the best tax professionals in the industry.
That's what we specialize in, helping you. And we're going to be here for you every step of the way. We'll take the weight off your shoulders so that you don't have to deal with the IRS anymore.
I've seen the impact and the power level of the IRS personally. And I would never want them to try to handle that battle on their own.
Ameristar guarantees not to charge you a penny unless we can help solve your IRS problem. Call for your free tax relief information now.
With you.
We didn't always watch football at Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's do this.
It's clear that he knows is coming. And it is.
Protect the football. Buffalo Wild Wings. Football the way it should be.
At Country Mark, it's not just our products that exceed our customers' expectations. It's also our employees. They're the people you know and trust. The people who go out of their way to see to it you're not just happy with our products and services, but you prefer them to the competition. Maybe that's not what you'd expect from a big oil company, but it's what you can expect from us. Because our people come from the same place our oil does, right here in the Midwest.
The nation's elite take the ice for hockey on BTN. Watch them blast the slap shots, bring the big hits, and light the lamp with sensational goals. Don't miss hockey, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, Friday on BTN.
The Buffalo Wild Wings trip to the Big Ten Tournament Sweepstakes. One grand prize winner receives a trip for two to the entire Big Ten basketball tournament, complete with air and hotel accommodations. Enter right now at btn.com/BWW tournament.
Sunday on BTN, it's a super doubleheader of Big Ten hoops. First, a key W is at stake when Aaron White and the Hawkeyes head to the Barn. for a clash with Rodney Williams and the Gophers. Then, Jared Berggren leads the Badgers to Champaign to square off with Brandon Paul and the Illini.
How about that?
Big Ten basketball presented by 5 Hour Energy. Sunday only on BTN.
Indiana up by 20 on Purdue to start the second half here. So you see Tom Crean exchanging pleasantries there with Tom Eads. Not a lot of good stuff to talk about for Matt Painter. They have a lot of work to do here, Jimmy.
But you can climb back in this game slowly. Indiana has given up second half leads before to Minnesota when they were up big. But it's going to take a lot of patience, a lot of hard work for Purdue, one possession at a time.
Zeller now working on Hammonds, who remember had 3 fouls. Loose ball. Purdue coming out of there with it. Ronnie Johnson. DJ Bird turns it over. Zeller with the steal. Here comes Farrell in transition. And a held ball.
See, those are those lost possessions. You play really good half-court defense. You give yourself a chance to come down and cut into this lead, and you turn the ball over. Lost possessions.
Now Ronnie Johnson. Bird wasn't expecting it. Inside Hammond. He is going to be awfully good, Jimmy.
Well, he is. And that play was set up because DJ Bird is a shooter. You have to help. So when he comes off the screen by A.J. Hammond, you have to pay particular attention. And A.J. just sealed himself right in the middle of the lane.
Watford had it knocked away by Bird. Seconds to shoot for the Hoosiers. Oladipo. Now Hulse with 5 to shoot. Working on the freshman Ronnie Johnson, who got a piece of it, and a shot clock violation. That's the 7th turnover for Indiana. So Matt Painter's team gets a defensive stop, now trying to take advantage on the offensive end.
Play that worked for you, the sealing A.J. in the middle of the lane. Again, they ran it right now, but it's a little too high.
Hammonds backing in on Zeller. Doesn't go. Rayfeld Davis, good effort going after the board, but Oladipo comes out of there with it. Zeller back to Oladipo. Not there. Zeller the tip.
And that play was all brought up because Victor gave the ball up early enough to get it back from Zeller.
That is 15 points now for Cody Zeller. And that also puts him at double-double range in this game. That was his 10th rebound. Another turnover. Here's Farrell. Now Hulse leaving it for Watford. And Indiana going to set things up.
See, that's patience right now by Indiana. You want to get the shot that you want to get, and not what the defense dictates for you.
Hulse working around the screen from Zeller. Battle for the board, and Tyrone Johnson has it. Harassed by Zeller. Now Bird. And a foul inside. It's going to go against Zeller.
Look, Victor Oladipo in transition. Watch the pace. Gives up the ball right back to him. Now he's inside. Now you can take advantage of a 2-on-1 situation. It's all about the decision-making and unselfish play of this Indiana team.
And Zeller and Oladipo are Verizon key connection. Hammonds right off the inbound.
This young man has an effect on the game. I mean, when he gets deep position, he has such a big body, a long wingspan, that it's tough to get him out of the lane.
That is 13 points for him. He had been in single figures each of the last 3 games after 4 straight in double figures. So getting it going again on the offensive end. He is just beginning to scratch the surface.
He's giving himself a chance by getting deep post position. You see the defense right there. That's the dynamic that this young man can bring to the team as he continues to progress. You know, the awareness right here, not just floating around in the lane. Next, he'll be able to keep that ball in play.
Farrell. First two for Yogi Farrell. Highly touted freshman. Go right back to Hammonds. Now Hammonds spinning. I'll tell you, the people around the Purdue program are saying that the thing about A.J. Hammonds is he really didn't take basketball all that seriously in high school. Went to Oak Hill, which of course is a powerhouse. He wasn't one of the highly recruited guys on that team. Team that went 44-0. Great pass, and Zeller finishes.
Well, the unfortunate part is when you're big, young, you're automatically looked upon as a basketball player you should enjoy. And for him, it was more so everybody said I should play, so I guess I will.
Right. Now here's Bird. Rayfeld Davis. Being pushed out offensively. And another foul inside on Zeller. That is 3 on Cody Zeller. A little bit of a foul issue for both of the big men, Hammonds and Zeller. 3 apiece. The lead still 20 for Indiana.
Making the big romantic gesture. That's powerful. Verizon. Get a Droid Razr M by Motorola in pink for $49.99.
I was having trouble getting out of bed in the morning because my back hurt so bad.
The Sleep Number bed conforms to you. Wake up in the morning with no back pain.
Do you toss and turn, wake up with back pain? If so, call us now. You'll learn how the Sleep Number bed helps relieve back pain by allowing you to adjust the firmness and support to conform to your body for a more proper spinal alignment. Just look at this research. 93% of participants experienced back pain relief. Plus, it's a great value because it costs about the same as an innerspring, yet lasts twice as long. So if you want to sleep better or find relief for your bad back, call now.
Call 1-800-310-2748 for your free information kit with DVD, brochure, and price list. Call 1-800-310-2748 and we'll include a free $50 savings card. That's 1-800-310-2748 for your free information and this free $50 savings card. Call now.
Tickets, all-access audio and video, official merchandise, and the latest info on all 18 Boilermaker teams. PurdueSports.com, part of the Big Ten Digital Network.
Use Chase Freedom at drugstores this quarter. Get 5% cash back.
Oh, everybody get.
Activate your 5% cash back at chase.com/freedom.
The Levion family have been masters of jewelry design for centuries. This Levion collection is amazing.
Maybe it's time to start your own.
Kay presents today's Levion with exclusive Levion chocolate diamonds. Every kiss begins with Kay.
Wash the day away with the Delta Intuition 2-in-1 shower. Get water where you need it most. Another way Delta is more than just a shower. See what Delta can do.
ESPN, the home court of Big Monday.
Are you telling me there's no magic in this house tonight?
The home court of Super Tuesday.
Oh, my goodness.
the home court of Wednesday Night Hoops.
Got it for three.
The home court of Thursday Night Showcase.
Hello, the high-rise.
The home court of Saturday Primetime. ESPN, the home court of college hoops. Be there all season long on ESPN3.
Indiana, Purdue, every time they play, everybody gets excited in this state. Even if you're not an Indiana or Purdue fan, people enjoy this rivalry. It's just very intense. Of course, when Coach Knight and Gene Cady were on the sidelines, I don't know that you could have ever gotten more intensity than those guys put out as coaches, and that made the rivalry that much more focused and much more fun to be a part of.
There he is, Don Fisher. How can he be in his 40th season? I mean, did he start calling games when he was 15? He looks great.
I know he does, man. And I imagine that off camera, he can tell us some really good stories about the rivalry.
I had some great conversations with Fish before a game I did in Bloomington earlier this year, and it has been fun for him to be a part of this ride of the revival of Indiana basketball as Watford comes up with a steal. Seen so many great teams. And this looks like it's one of them. Here's Sheehy inside Oladipo.
Capitalizing off a turnover. A bad pass, entry pass, trying to get inside to Hammonds. Works in the favor of Indiana to get back down court, get settled in, and get a layup.
Ronnie Johnson got Oladipo in the air, and Ronnie Johnson has 6. Sheehy. Nice feed for Oladipo. 9 points for Oladipo, but it was Sheehy who created that hoop.
But Indiana's playing with force. You give up a layup, but you push it right back at Purdue. You don't allow them to get set, and you wind up with a layup yourself.
Nifty move by Ronnie Johnson. That's 8 points for the freshman from Indy. Three-pointer is short. And the loose ball to Davis. Now Hammonds, the 7-footer. Oh, my!
Dave, despite the result of this game, we don't know what's going to happen, but this may just be a coming-out party for A.J. Hammonds. How many times can you give it up to your 7-footer in transition and have him finish with authority?
Wow. That was impressive.
He put it in there.
That was something else.
He put it in there, Dave.
17 points for the freshman. Matt Painter very excited about A.J. Hammonds.
Why not? I'm excited about A.J. Hammonds right now.
With Matt Painter.
Yeah.
Again, part of that Oak Hill Academy team that went 44-0 last season. He grew up in Gary and then spent one season at Carmel High School, suburban Indianapolis, and then went off to Oak Hill. He misses the free throw, but offensive rebound, Rafael Davis, and he is fouled by Holmes.
Dave, it's amazing that the development of a center or big man in high school trails that to a guard. If you think about it, see the hustle right here, and watch A.J. Hammonds in transition. Think about it. I can go out and play rec ball and have competition all the time and somebody I can match up with. When you're 7 foot, who are you playing against? Right. So you develop kind of these tendencies that you can get away with things because you're big.
Right. And the opposing center 6'5".
Exactly. So that haunts you when you come into college and you play against guys that may be your own size.
Good hustle by Davis going to the floor.
Look who's on the floor, Dave.
Hammonds.
It's unbelievable when you're playing an all-around game. Now you see the big fella getting on the floor, giving up his body.
That's a long way to go to get down on the floor.
But he got down there. Watch the hustle. He understands that he's playing well. So when you're playing well, the ball is going through the basket, you're blocking shots. Now you're more willing to give up your body to dive on the floor.
Sunday Marchuk's going to check in for Hammonds. We'll take a seat, trying to get the crowd involved. There's so much excitement and energy in this building early, and Indiana, to their credit, did an incredible job of depleting that. And Hammonds trying to get the crowd back in it. And she is fouled on his way to the hoop.
Jerome Johnson just a little off on his closeout. His feet weren't quite together. Closed out a little too closely to Sheehy. Had two hands on him. Easy call for the ref.
That's the second foul on Jerome Johnson. It was the first foul on the Boilermakers in the second half. As Holes drains the two.
Such a quick trigger. You know, Ronnie Johnson to have a time to recover before the shot was in the air.
Jordy Holes into double figures. 10 points for him. Ronnie Johnson. Good defense by Oladipo. Now Donnie Hale. Davis loses it. Offensive foul. Number 2 on Rayfield Davis.
Well, two good plays on that. One, Will Sheehy from behind, as you watch right here. And then Cody Zeller in position to take the charge. That's team defense. You collapse once you see the ball hit the paint, and you make the play from there.
13th turnover for Purdue. Deflected out of bounds. Tom Crean, great energy. Of course, a big week for him at the Michigan State game. You've got this game, you got the game against Michigan, and then on Sunday, he's going to get on a plane and go watch his brothers-in-law compete head-to-head coaching in the Super Bowl. The Harbaugh brothers, of course, the brothers of his wife, Joni Harbaugh Crean. So they are going to go to New Orleans, watch the game, so he hasn't decided whether they'll spend the night or not, but how exciting is that?
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Who do you root for? I mean, it's... What do you do? I don't know.
I think you just kind of burst with pride. You're happy for whoever wins. I don't know. You're right. I mean, there's a little bit of a dilemma. Yeah. Someone's going to be unhappy. 7 seconds to shoot for the Hoosiers. Oladipo creates some space. That's 11 for Victor Oladipo. So the 18th time in the last 19 games, he has been in double figures. Donnie Hale has it knocked away. Good play by Sheehy. Ronnie Johnson with the runner. And a blocking foul on the Hoosiers. It's going to go against Elston.
Dave, you know the beauty about that play with Victor Oladipo, as the crowd doesn't like to call, was that a lot of players that get in a situation when the shot clock is going down, they rush. In position here, Derek Elston. Do we see if his feet are inside the circle? But the point I was saying about Victor was that he calmly attacked and got to the spot where he wanted to get to. He knew what he wanted to do, and he got a shot up under control. You know, the maturity, I think last year that might have been a rush shot. This year, not so much.
Well, the confidence is just sky high, and justifiably he has played fabulously. Ronnie Johnson now with 10 points, so double figures for the freshman. 13th time this year he has hit that number. Elston to Sheehy, works around the screen. Sheehy working the baseline, and he stepped out of bounds. The 8th turnover for the Hoosiers. They still lead Purdue by 20.
Okay. While concentrating on the traffic around me, my kids are in the back seat distracting another driver who who wrecks his car? Would my insurance pay for repairs to his vehicle? What's distraction?
I'm absolutely not sure.
You know what? It could be, I don't know.
Don't just hope you're covered. Find your policy, then find us. Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Check out my new treadmill app. Pretty sweet, huh?
Cute, but don't you have any apps on your phone that can make your life easier?
Who do you think I am? Quicken Loans?
At Quicken Loans, we'll provide you with MyQL Mobile. This amazingly useful app allows you to take pictures of your mortgage documents using an iPhone or Android smartphone so you can easily send them to us. One more way Quicken Loans is engineered to amaze.
Dan, 4 lattes?
Want to take Big Ten sports with you?
Who ordered the tall?
You can with BTN To Go for your phone, tablet, or computer.
One short.
BTN To Go from the Big Ten Network. Take it with you.
Can't contain your excitement for the season? Then the Big Ten Digital Network is your outlet. Get extra games, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, and more, all on your computer. Plug into the game. Sign up now at video.btn.com.
Indiana on top of the homestanding Boilermakers. Just under 12 minutes to go here from West Lafayette in what is maybe the most heated basketball rivalry in the Big Ten. You see a guy who knows plenty about it, the director of basketball operations for Indiana, Calbert Chaney.
I still got something. I got a beef to finish with Calvin. I still got something I need to finish with them.
You see, the careers of Matt Painter and Calbert Chaney coincided exactly. Of course, Chaney as prolific a scorer as there has been at IU. What's your beef with him?
Well, my junior year, they beat us twice.
What's the beef?
You should at least won one. I mean, at home.
The beef should be with yourself,
no,
not with Calbert.
No, it was Calbert's fault. What do you mean? He had a lot to do with it.
He did. Man, he was good.
But Matt, when he played, it's interesting that what you see as him as a coach is how he was as a player. Very intense, maybe not the most talented, but he gave you everything on the court. You know, and that's why he's such an outstanding coach, because he understood the little things that it took to be successful.
Well, he fit with the mentality that Gene Cady created. Well, that's the kind of player that Matt Painter was. Really hard-nosed, blue-collar kind of guy.
He didn't take a lot of stuff either. I mean, when you go back and watch those pictures of a much leaner, I'm not going to say skinny, a much leaner Matt Painter, he was intense. I mean, he would get in there and mix it up.
He looks great, though, now. He's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Here's Oladipo. Sheehy. Now Farrell. Hits the three-pointer. That offensive game really starting to come around for Yogi Ferrell.
Well, he's not thinking about the jump shot anymore. It's a natural rhythm. I think in the last 2 or 3 games, he's really been more efficient from the perimeter, shooting the ball like he did when he was in high school.
He averaged 13 points in their 2 wins last week. Elston clearing the rebound. This beat Penn State and Michigan State. Now Farrell again. How about Yogi getting going?
Well, it's so tough to guard a point guard or a player like that that can shoot the ball from the perimeter. It puts you in a quandary, so to speak. You know, do I back off and give him the shot? If I get up too close, he can drive by me. So you take away a defense's option of just playing you one way.
Ronnie Johnson lost it out of bounds. Another turnover for the Boilers.
Again, the confidence, the spring, the elevation, and then the finish with the jump shot. One thing the coaching staff said that with Yogi really hitting the weight room, he had to adjust to his new body. So that threw his jump shot off a little bit. Now he's readjusting and finding his stroke with his newfound strength.
And so many expectations heaped upon him as well.
Right.
Guy has been in the spotlight for years. He was rated the nation's #1 fifth grader by Clark Francis, analyst. Oladipo inside. And I'm not sure we need to be rating fifth graders. That's 13 for Oladipo. But, I mean, you talk about a guy who, again, so much pressure on you when you come into a program and a team that's kind of tailor-made to succeed. And he has lived up to it. Here's Oladipo again. A nice deflection by Ronnie Johnson. Some defense of his own.
Always around the ball, always active. Victor Oladipo sticking his nose in there where Purdue would say it doesn't belong, so to speak. But, you know, I said it at halftime. He may be your best player, may not be your most important. Victor Oladipo for the Indiana Hoosiers may be him.
Purdue takes a timeout, down 27.
I'm Snow. And just like you, the further in the winter we go, the heavier I get. And while your pants struggle to support the heavier you, your roof struggles to support the heavier me. And your cut rate insurance might not pay for this. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. So get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
There are more mouths to feed than ever before. What are farmers doing to meet the challenge? They're using agronomically designed equipment from Case IH. Our Quadtrack technology, soil management, and planting systems are designed to foster a better growing environment that helps farmers maximize yield potential. And our deep understanding of agriculture is preparing them for the challenges ahead. Will you be ready?
I'm ready.
Go to caseih.com to learn more.
The greatest featherweight champion in the history of the sport. It's going to be very difficult to think of who can challenge you at this point.
I've heard this story before.
You can never count this kid out. One of the best of all time. Frankie Edgar. Featherweight champion Jose Aldo. Alistair Overeem. Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Robbins. Oh, good left hand by Nogueira.
The journey to greatness spins out of control. On the road to WrestleMania, these men must survive. WWE Elimination Chamber, live Sunday, February 17th, only on pay-per-view.
All right. 69-42 in favor of Indiana as we remind you Big Ten basketball presented by 5 Hour Energy on Saturday night. Deshaun Thomas and the Buckeyes head to Lincoln to take on the Huskers. Tip-off coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, presented by 5 Hour Energy on BTN. Jimmy, I know you've been impressed by A.J. Hammonds throughout the game.
You know, the game may not be in favor of the Boilermakers, but on a positive note, the play of A.J. Hammonds offensively, defensively, making himself present. In the games like this, sometimes they awaken a sleeping giant. Maybe this is the game that gives him the much-needed confidence that he can, you know, be a dominant post player in this league.
Indiana certainly not lacking for confidence with good reason. They've hit 9 of their last 10 from the field, making 9 of 11 off the miss by Sheehy. Watford the rebound, though. Now Farrell. Nice feed for Zeller on the baseline. Doesn't get it to go. Zeller again, and Hammonds the rebound.
Almost.
Farrell going for the steal. Instead gets called for his third foul.
And that's when coaches talk about the teaching point. That should have been his left hand denying or trying to get the steal. That inside hand is what caused the foul. Just little teaching points when the film session breaks down that they'll go back and look at and say, Yogi, you know, stick to your principles.
Drew Anthrop at the free throw line. It bounces home the first one. Former walk-on, now on scholarship. You take a look at our All-State Mayhem Index. Indiana hasn't shot a free throw in the second half, but 16 of 17 for the game. They missed the first one, Jimmy, and then they hit 16 straight.
Well, a lot of their baskets have been like this here in transition. Backdoor cuts, offensive rebounds. Really not getting fouled, but again, The strength of this team is having multiple players that can push the ball. Yogi Ferrell with the rebound, gets his nose dirty a little bit. Head up, backdoor cut to a streaking Will Sheehy.
So Will Sheehy trying to finish off the three-point play. Very lightly regarded recruit. It was interesting in talking to Tom Crean about Sheehy and Oladipo. He said one list had them like 146 and 147 nationally. I'd say they were a bit off on those two.
Well, I try not to get caught up in the numbers in front of the names. I try to look at, you see a foul right here. I try to look at how and what skill set these young men possess. And do they fit within a system or the system that I'm recruiting here and kind of go from there.
That's 3 fouls on DJ Bird. Matt Painter's team down by 29 points. If there was any doubt about whether IU would be ready to play, perhaps a look-ahead game, we talked about it, even a sandwich game with a big game against Michigan State as well that preceded this one. That, to say the least, has not been an issue.
Well, talking to the coaching staff, we asked about that, and they said, well, no. We drilled these young men, watched so much game tape on Purdue. You see Tristan Walford patiently with the pump fake, hitting the shot, but we drilled. They watched so much tape and had so much of the scouting report that they had no reason or there's no way they were going to look past the Boilermakers.
And Tom Crean said he had a couple of his former players, sort of IU's former players, Joe Hillman, Brian Evans, come in and talk to the team about the importance of this rivalry against Purdue. So the fouls on Watford, his third. Oladipo back in for IU. Sheehy gets an earful from the crowd. He was dancing around a little bit a few moments ago, and
he had a couple things to say.
He may have incited it a little bit.
He did. He owns up to it. He knows it, but that tells you the intensity of this rivalry. Now, again, think about it. A couple years ago, they were on the opposite end of the spectrum, where it was Purdue that was kind of manhandling Indiana. So it's some bad blood from that perspective of remembering those early games.
That's 20, by the way, for A.J. Hammonds, which matches his career high. Farrell has it knocked away, and Enthrop comes up with a loose ball.
One of the few mistakes we've seen Yogi Ferrell make by jumping in the air.
8th turnover for the Hoosiers. Hammonds to Davis. Now back to Hammonds. Davis misses the jumper following his own shot, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be Hoosiers ball. Indiana with this one well in hand. Matt Painter's team down by 30 to its arch rivals.
Making the big romantic gesture. That's powerful. Verizon. Get a Nokia Lumia 822 in red for free.
Headed out of town for those big away games? Then book a clean, comfortable room for the lowest price of any national chain at Motel 6. That's what you call a classic layup. Count it. We'll leave the light on for you. Official economy lodging partner of the Big Ten Conference.
The Levion family have been masters of jewelry design for centuries. This Levion collection is amazing.
Maybe it's time to start your own.
Kay presents today's Levion with exclusive Levion chocolate diamonds.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
Watching Big Ten basketball, add to the action with BTN Connect. See all the Twitter activity from around the conference. Get in-game stats and interact with our experts. Join your favorite team with btn.com/connect. Get socially charged.
Sunday night, see how the events of the week in the Big Ten impact college basketball's national landscape as the conference's finest continue their quest for a championship. Big Ten basketball and beyond, presented by Barbasol, Sunday on BTN.
The nation's best basketball conference on the premier college sports network. A red-hot title race. Impact players.
This guy's just amazing basketball player.
Spectacular moments.
and an award-winning show that takes you behind it all. The ultimate destination for Big Ten hoops is BTN.
BTN Basketball is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, your destination for Big Ten Network games. Also in part by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. By Country Mart, get more per gallon. And by Case IH. Be ready with agronomic design from Case IH. Visit caseih.com/agronomic design. Biggest lead of the game for the Hoosiers, 30 points. What have you seen here, Jimmy?
Well, just how disciplined Indiana is in the fast break. Watch Will Sheehy stay wide, Jordan Hall stay wide. This now allows Yogi Ferrell to now penetrate right down the middle of the lane. You have options. This is something that coaches work on all the time, the 3-on-2, 2-on-1 fast break. You have to stay disciplined, maintain your lanes. Now you have options in the fast break. That's what makes this Indiana team so efficient in transition.
There's Jordy Hulls, now Oladipo. And Oladipo with 2 more.
It's amazing what a year makes in regards to the mental aspect of how to become more of a patient player that then translates into becoming a more efficient player.
I mean, going back to a point we were talking about a little while ago, Jimmy, virtually no one wanted Victor Oladipo. Yeah. I mean, very lightly recruited as Purdue turns it over again. That is 16 turnovers. I mean, here's a kid playing for a legendary program, DeMatha High School. Tom Crean said he started more games in his first 2 years for Indiana than he started in high school. He was a 6th man his junior year.
Well, a lot of times people overestimate talent in regards to seeing something right away. You have to be able to look beyond and see where the growth is going to be at. And that's something I think Tom Crean really looked at and said, this young man has yet to even develop, and we like his skill set. We think he can really fit in our program, help us change the dynamics, and I'll tell you what, it's making Tom Crean look like an absolute genius.
There is Oladipo leaving it short, but tracking down his own rebound. And now a near turnover. Good job by Ferrell to save it. Maurice Creek is into the game for the Hoosiers, off injured. Player who has contributed much to the rebuilding of this program. This is Creek, 22.
And even on an unorthodox possession.
Now Creek for 3. Left it short. Tangle of bodies there as Oladipo hits the floor. Our Motel 6 6th man of the game is Will Sheehy. How about 7 assists?
Spreading the love, and I was saying on that possession, it was an ugly possession, but yet and still they get a shot, they get the rebound, now they're at the free throw line.
Oladipo to the free throw line, as you said. And he hits the first free throw. I asked Tom Crean, so who else offered him? He said, I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh gave him an offer. Maryland did not offer him. Georgetown kind of dabbled with him. Said the only campus visit he believes that Oladipo made was to Indiana.
Yeah, well, you know, the recruiting is not
it's an inexact science.
Inexact science. Yep. You're going to get some kids who are going to pan out, and then you're going to overestimate how good a kid really is. You just don't know with an 18, 19-year-old young man.
What's odd, though, is in basketball, it's usually less of an inexact science because you have all the camps where you see kids playing against each other. You have all the AAU games. And so it's not like in football where you're trying to compare what is small school in Texas, how does that compare to a medium-sized school in Ohio, what's the level of competition. You know that kind of stuff. And that's why it's a little surprising to see 2 guys on one team, as Jacob Lawson hits, who were so very much underestimated by the recruiting pundits.
And I will say this, it goes back to a lot to the system you play in. This system allows Will Sheehy and Victor Oladipo to do a lot, to expand their game offensively and defensively. Speaking about expanding the game. So the system has a lot to do with how you develop and how soon you develop as a player. It can hold you back, or like in these 2 cases, it can really propel you.
That is 17 for Watford. There's Davis. Inside Hammond's nifty move. Can't get it to go. Battle for the board. Hammond's going back up, and he will head to the free throw line with a chance to establish a new career high. The foul is on Henner Mosquera-Perea, who has just checked in, the freshman from Columbia. That is his first foul. As Hammonds heads to the free throw line, and Sheehy checks back in.
And if fans appreciate Will Sheehy coming back in, give him a round of applause, of course.
And you can see the wry smile there from Will Sheehy. He's made some new friends here tonight in West Lafayette. Hammonds 20 points, 3 rebounds. Been the brightest spot for IU on what has been a dark evening, and that's a new career high for A.J. Hammonds. Coming up next, it's the finale presented by Reese's. The guys in the studio break down a full night of basketball. We'll have complete post-game reaction here from West Lafayette. We'll hear from the Hoosiers. Also get a sense of what we saw from Michigan and start looking ahead to that big game on Saturday. Indiana and Michigan. That is going to be fun at Assembly Hall.
Well, it's safe to say we can start to talk about that a little bit more now than earlier this evening, but it should be a battle between two heavyweights. Kind of a game we've been waiting to see. Two teams who love to get up and down in transition, shoot the 3 ball. Advantage post play, Indiana. But, you know, Mitch McGeary and Mark Morgan inside, they're going to battle.
Oladipo knocks it away. Will stay with Purdue. 84 points now for the Hoosiers, just over their season average of 83.3, which is second best nationally. They also lead the nation in point differential, and certainly not going to do anything to help or to hurt that, I should say, here tonight, as they have built a 35-point lead. There's Hammonds inside. 24 now for Hammonds. Sheehy.
Not settled. Even when you're up big, as Indiana is right now, they're still not settling for the first available shot.
Ronnie Johnson now has 13.
And you got to love that. That's a discipline, because it's easy for a team when you're up 20-plus points or 30 points to just jack up shots and try to get your numbers. But Indiana's still running their plays, knowing that they're prepared for something bigger. It's not just tonight's game.
Zeller left open, figures why not. Misses that one. Creek with the rebound, had it deflected by Lawson. And a held ball situation. It will go to Purdue. Cody Zeller and company coasting here, up by 32.
Some folks will have you believe it doesn't matter where you get your metal, that it's all the same. Well, they haven't met Alro Steel, so it's a good thing our customers have. 25,000 Midwestern businesses get a wide variety of metals from Alro, and they get their orders the next day, whether it's 1 piece or 100 pieces. So the next time you need metal, give us a call. Get to know Alro, your single source for metals.
The thrill of victory and the agony of... Wait, how's that go again? The BMW 3 Series, the only vehicle to win Car and Driver's 10 Best, 22 years in a row. We only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine.
BMW, the official luxury automobile of the Big Ten Conference.
With lots of sunshine all across the region as we make our way to the weekend. So for today, 72 degrees with beautiful sunny skies.
You may not know when you can get Sure Start applied, but because it gives you the flexibility to spray corn from pre-plant to post-emergence, you can always be sure you will.
Great day for you farmers to get out in your fields. I'm meteorologist Bob Sanderson, and I'm pretty sure you'll want to get outside.
Pretty sure isn't sure. Now is it?
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Hey folks, Rick Pease in our BTN studios. Back to West Lafayette shortly as Indiana looks to put the finishing touches on an impressive win over Purdue. Don't forget, after the game, stick around for the Big Ten finale. Mike DeCourcy and Tim Doyle join me. Complete highlights from the one you're watching, plus an impressive performance from the #1 ranked team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines. We'll, of course, have post-game reaction from West Lafayette and the best of January, which I know Jim Jackson is clearly missing out on this evening.
All right, Rick, sounds good. Back at Mackey Arena, this is Katie Court. Was named as such in 1997 after the legendary Gene Katie. As we look at our Reese's perfect combination, and I mean, how about these two fabulous coaches? Man, it was fun when these two were going head-to-head, Bob Knight and Gene Katie.
It wasn't fun on my end because they were trying to stop me. I mean, it was, but to be able to play during that era when I played with Coach Knight and Coach Katie, and I can say this honestly about Coach Katie. How much money did he pay to get his name on the court? Okay? That's what I want to know. But in all seriousness, I mean, the teams that they had, the precedents they set, the way their teams competed. One of my first introductions to the Big Ten day, I ran into a screen by Steve Scheffler.
Whoa, you don't forget that.
And he didn't really move. I just hit it, and it was like just hitting a brick wall.
He kind of epitomized. I mean,
brick, cement.
We were talking about Painter being kind of a prototypical Katie player. I mean, Scheffler was.
Well, you think Marchuch is big. You think no, Steve Scheffler was just, it was just, I call Mitch McGarry the human shadow.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would give Scheffler. It was just, I mean, right in the middle of the chest, and it just laid me out. And it's just like, welcome to the Big Ten.
26 points for A.J. Hammonds. Coach Katie, of course, was our colleague for several years at the Big Ten Network, now working with Steve Lavin with that St. John's program in New York. Fabulous guy. A lot of fun to be around. Learned a lot about basketball from hanging around Coach Katie. As Yogi Ferrell moves into double figures now with 11.
I was a little intimidated because I played for Coach Katie in the '91 Pan Am Games down in Cuba. And my philosophy was to stay out as well. You know, when he started to growl and look mean, but as I got to know him away from the court here at the network, you know, I saw what Todd Mitchell and a lot of guys talked about that he was just a joy to play for.
He is a classic case of don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Absolutely. As Hammonds hits yet another free throw, 27 points for him. Our Quicken Loans amazing performance, though, Cody Zeller, another double-double, 19 points, 11 rebounds. So much for the slump.
What slump? I mean, the beauty of it is that if he goes into a slump, it's not, you have so many weapons around you. It's hard for you to stay in the slump because, one, he's a post player. He's going to get a lot of looks at the basket. He's going to get to the free throw line. So it's a lot easier for a player like that to kind of get out of what we would call maybe a 1 or 2 game funk.
Off the creek miss. Wow! A.J. Hammonds now has 30. He has half of Purdue's points.
I tell you what, he may not have loved the game when he was in high school, but he's loving it now. Again, the team is not winning, but from a personal perspective, he's playing against one of the better players in the country and has played extremely well.
That's nice to see. Derek Elston hitting a 3. First of the season for him. He had been 0 of 3 coming in a guy who's given a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to this program.
Yeah.
Final 2 minutes here from West Lafayette of a very, very impressive performance. Anthrop rims it out. Now Abel the other way. Again, the finale presented by Reese's coming up after the game. Interested to hear what Mike and Tim and Rick have to say about this one, as well as about Michigan's performance. Spinning his Creek, had it blocked, getting it back is Abel. Half dozen now for Remy Abel. In the second straight year that Indiana has come in here and knocked off the Boilers. Last year at this time, they were kind of fighting the inability to win on the road. Hadn't really done that under Tom Crean. Well, they're winning on the road now. This will be their 5th straight Big Ten road win.
Well, it's nothing like when you can have a 7-footer who can get out and run the lane. So much potential here with this young man. One, it's an onus on the coaching staff to get him better, but it's also an onus on himself to want to be better and want to put in the work, because you don't want this to be just a one-time occurrence of having a game like this.
Some of the walk-ons in there. Jeff Howard, number 24, in for the Hoosiers, as is Raphael Smith, 15. Howard. And the three-pointer there by Maurice Creek.
We're talking about a pleasure to see somebody hit a shot when we talked about, you know, players for Indiana who's kind of been there, done that. Maurice Creek, to be able to come in and still be able to contribute on some level.
At the 12th three of the game for Indiana, that is his season high. I mean, Maurice Creek, a guy, remember, he was the leading freshman scorer in the nation when he went down with that first injury his freshman year, and he has just been a hard luck story since then. Indiana, uber impressive, Jim.
Very impressive. Now they can set their sights on what is going to be one of the top games of the year against the Wolverines on Saturday.
Number 1 versus number 3 on Saturday night in Bloomington. And number 3 looks awfully good here tonight. Once again, our final score, Indiana 97, Purdue 60. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Big Ten Network. For Jim Jackson, I'm Dave Refson saying so long from West Lafayette. Let's go back to our Chicago studios now. The Big Ten finale presented by Reese's and Rick Pizzo.
So I switched my car insurance to State Farm. I saved $480. You know what that is?
Yeah, don't say it.
You know what it is, right?
Yeah, don't.
It's a lot of dough.
Switch and you could save $480 with State Farm.
Use Chase Freedom at gas stations this quarter. Get 5% cash back. Well, everybody get.
Activate your 5% cash back at chase.com/freedom.
When you do business in local communities,
Bill,
Matt, word gets around pretty quickly as to whether or not you can be trusted to keep your promises. As Indiana's only American-owned oil refining and production company, CountryMark has been making promises to our customers for almost 100 years. More importantly, we've been keeping them. And believe us when we say we'd be hearing about it if we didn't.
Matt. Bill.
Hey, wake up. Who are you? I'm you. Or the you could be. Just gotta get up, get active. I'm too tired. Then take 5-hour energy. You'll feel alert and energized for hours. Let's go. Maybe later.
You used to look like that.
Meet the girlfriend you could have. 5-hour energy. Be the you could be.
Before the ball goes on, expand your basketball knowledge as our experts discuss the matchups to watch, interview coaches and players, and set the scene for a spectacular night of hoops. The Auto Owners Insurance Tip-Off Show, Saturday on BTN.
Monday, Rick Pizzo, Derek Rackley, and Tim Doyle have a little fun as they weigh in on the hottest topics around the conference as only they can. The Big Ten Falls, Monday on BTN.
0-2 high, and we're coming up on back from the crossers this time.
Today, just 1 in every 100 Americans serves in our armed forces. They train, they deploy, they fight, they come home. And when they do, the Mission Continues offers them a challenge. To continue to serve, to continue to inspire, through community service fellowships and funding that lets veterans put their experience, leadership, and talents to work here at home. Across America, the Mission Continues veterans are making a difference in their communities and in their own lives. Now they can find the same sense of purpose that they experienced in uniform, and their dedication and effort can lead to new careers, new opportunities, further education, and a successful transition home. To learn more about the Mission Continues and